Okay, an exclusive Fox News investigation is uncovering a well-oiled machine, a well-funded anti-ICE activist network, and it links roughly 100 groups to protests outside of a Newark ICE facility, Delaney Hall. We've been talking about it for 2 weeks now. All of them together control some $825 million in revenue, and many enjoy tax-exempt status. They're now facing congressional scrutiny and weren't exactly willing to talk to us when we started asking them questions. Watch.
Yeah, it looks like you're getting ready for something serious to go down, right?
So Charles Marino is a former senior Homeland Security advisor and joins us now. Charles, great to have you. I don't know if you've read this article. I had to read it like 3 or 4 times because it was every 5 seconds I was like alarmed by what I read. So let me read a part of it to our viewers here. This is the Fox Digital exclusive. Secret signal chats reveal how anti-ICE agitators coordinated those Newark riots. The network behind the Delaney Hall protests includes about 100 groups. Some of them are big names like the ACLU, Indivisible, and Democratic Socialists of America. Together, these organizations report collective annual revenues of about $850 million, approximately equal to the annual budget of Newark, New Jersey, where they are protesting. Something else I found interesting in this article, Charles, is that they push out this memo. It's called the Delaney 100, and it shares language to protesters on how to, tweet and post on social media. It tells them to call the Delaney Hall a concentration camp. It tells them to label these detainees, quote unquote, imprisoned prisoners and captives, and say that they were kidnapped and abducted instead of being arrested. What do you make of all of this?
Well, no surprise that this is all extremely organized and coordinated on the financial side. On the other material support side, like these supplies that we see being dropped in the vicinity of Delaney Hall. And finally, also on the communications side. That includes internal communications and external communications. So they're provided essentially talking points. They're educated about an inch deep and a mile wide on the issues that they're protesting, but they're told to use those buzzwords to invite, incite, facilitate, and basically bring forward everything that we are seeing play out outside of that detention facility.
Let's put up on the screen here some pictures that Fox Digital has picked up of the supplies. I mean, the amount of things that they have collected for these protesters. It includes gas masks and so many other things because they had planned to be out there for several days. I remember covering the George Floyd protests, and, a lot of the organizing we always saw was very public. It was posted on Instagram, on social media. They weren't really hiding anything. This is different. They're doing a lot of communication on Signal, encrypted messaging. We'll put up on the screen here the timeline of the messages for these online protesters, these users prepping for these protesters. Why are they trying to hide what they're doing here? I mean, they're using secret monikers like frame.unrest. They call themselves Wicked something, trying to figure out transportation, logistics. What does that tell you when they're doing all of this behind the scenes?
Well, they're going to try and make it as hard as possible for law enforcement agencies like the FBI to infiltrate their groups, either physically or into one of those messaging apps. The other thing is on the financing side. Unfortunately, we are going to find, based on the nature of these organizations that are providing the money, that U.S. tax dollars are being used for the very behavior that we're seeing, which is very disturbing. The other thing is the list of private donors to these organizations. This is likely what the FBI is focusing on right now. Yes, we know it's from the extreme radical left, but now it's time. We need names. We need to know who the private donors are and to confirm that tax dollars are making their way to these non-governmental organizations. We saw this play out during the Biden crisis, where these NGOs were serving as an extension of the Department of Homeland Security to facilitate all of the illegal immigration of unvetted immigrants into the country. We're going to see the same thing playing out here, and it's got to stop.
Do you think that this mayor, the Newark mayor, is capable of handling the situation? Because now he's taken over. He's even taken it over from state police. It's local police now, Newark police, that are in control of the streets around Delaney Hall. Is he capable?
Well, that state and local law enforcement support has been off more than it's been on. Let's remember the governor and the mayor prevented law enforcement from coming to the aid of ICE agents for 8 days. They showed up, and then yesterday they were gone again. So in terms of credibility of both the governor and the mayor, their level of credibility right now is that of my 16-year-old son when he says he's going to be home for his curfew. It just doesn't happen. And so I wouldn't take anything that they're alleging or saying right now to the bank. Let's remember this started out based on food complaints, then it went to lack of family visitation, and ultimately the truth always comes out. And that is that these elected officials in sanctuary states and cities don't believe that the federal immigration laws of the United States should be enforced. That's the bottom line. Let's look at their budget. Congress, Democrats, have still yet to fund CBP and ICE. So this should tell everybody what they believe.
I still can't figure out why some of these folks are out there from, I mean, there's some people out there from climate network groups, out there fighting climate change. Why in the world are they outside of Delaney Hall? We do not know. Charles, great to have you. Have a great week.
Thanks, Aisha. You too.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.